Good morning and welcome to Saturday Morning Comic Talk, for real this time. This is the Halloween episode. We have already established it is cursed, and that's all right because it's the Halloween episode, and cursed episodes for Halloween are the only way you want to do them. So when one day we start reading about cursed movies, we'll say, all right, the cursed live stream that has already had more problems than you can imagine. And hey, we're 57 seconds in, so we're starting off right. So, of course, anyone watching has no idea what I'm talking about, but that's all right. Just know cursed, and that's all you need to
bring
really
the chaos, and I caused a lot of chaos. So
hey, you know what? It is what we need for today. So we're going to start with our introductions. So Greg, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Greg. I'm cursed.
We all are. That's good.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Cursed Show.
I am co-founder, writer, creator extraordinaire of Sierra Nova Comics. We do superheroes, horror comics, sci-fi. Yeah, do all the fancy stuff.
And Space Cats.
Space Cats, yes.
All right. So Carissa, tell us about yourself.
I am the writer and creator of Worthy Chaos Comics. I currently have a series, Worthy Chaos Redemption. It's live on Kickstarter now, the hardcovers. You could search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter. We're always either live or on pre-launch. We also have 2 on pre-launch too. I have a Western Supernatural coming out in January, and I'm super excited about it. And if you thought I was merch queen before, damn.
You're about to find out.
Oh my God. I did not realize that I would just go completely berserk and obsessed with the cryptids. So yeah, sorry. I'll try not to break I think my record is 42 tiers. I'll try not to break that.
Wow.
I wouldn't want to make all those.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If they made it so you can paste and copy add-ons, my life would be so much better. Yeah. If I could just import, I don't care about the tier. I don't care about the reward tiers, but if you could bring in the add-ons, there's 60.
It would be so much easier because my add-ons, I have graded copies of pretty much every book that I've published, and I have to add them in one at a time. And it is so tedious because they've been in every campaign. And if I could just say take that one from the previous campaign and just shoot it over, it would be so much easier because now I think I have 27 graded books. So that ends up being a lot of tiers.
Yeah. Well, I have 12 issues. They all have variants, metal covers and all that stuff. What would be even better if I ran Kickstarter is you hit a duplicate button and the entire Kickstarter just gets copied over, and my life would be so much easier because next year I had convinced myself to spread them out. And then like an idiot, I added a series. So now it's every month. And so there is 8 campaigns next year. And
only 8?
Only 8. You know what? I ran out of months because I stopped in October. So and I had to have time in between them. So it's campaign for 3 weeks, give them 3 weeks to breathe, 3 weeks for the next campaign, 3 weeks to breathe, and the next one starts. So if you only collect one series, then it's every 12 weeks. If you collect both, then I'm sorry. It's every
that's a lot. Your Marvel wishes they could keep up with you.
Oh my God.
I know I can't. My wallet can't, but that's all right because I always have a new Carissa book to purchase. So when I need a new book in the mail, I know I'm going to back it. And within a week, it's going to be in my mailbox because you also start fulfilling before Kickstarter even throws the money. So you have to love that.
I have everything in hand when my Kickstarter goes. This is the new hardcover. And when I was shipping out within 48 hours. However, there was one time in 15, but there was one time where the payment said it went through. And then at the 7th day mark, when the last chance for it to go through, it failed somehow. And they had no explanation for it. They said I did it wrong. I was like, what? I don't do anything. Like, what I do?
Yeah, that happened with my last one too. And I had to hold, like they said, you have to send in a photocopy of your bank statement and all this kind of stuff. So
yeah. So now I have them all packed and ready to go. And then on that 7th day, when the damn thing goes off, then I ship them out. So
yeah,
my people have to wait now 2 weeks for their items. I'm sorry.
Man, that is unacceptable. I'm gonna have to cancel my pledge.
John makes fun of me all the time because he's just like, you're apologizing for being 2 days late when we're over here being 2 months.
Yeah, we're like a month late right now from our
I don't have a choice. My next Kickstarter is in 3 weeks. I got to get these things out. I mean,
get them out so the next one can go. Yeah.
So I'm hoping the Western does well. But if not, it's going to be a whole line of cryptids, like on its own thing on Etsy or something, because I already have like 30 going. So
you're set in that category.
Yeah, the Worthy Chaos cryptids, man. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So Anthony said, and why didn't we have him on? Anthony, all you got to do is let me know. You will have an open invite to this show anytime. So please just let us know let me know when you want to come on, and happy to have you. So let's start talking about our topics for the day. First one is our horror movie Mount Rushmore. So this is where we look at Mount Rushmore for presidents. We're going to pick 4 movies that should be immortalized forever as the best horror movies out. All right, how far ahead would you announce a Kickstarter? So Carissa, what's your thought on that one? Because you're the expert in these things.
Okay. The day my Kickstarter ends and I send out the thank you has the link to my next one. And 2 campaigns ago, I was not approved from Kickstarter and everyone flipped out. So it took a week for it to go through, and then I had like 80 followers in like 12 hours. So now all of mine are already pre-approved, like the next 7. So I have to keep going. So to ask me when yeah, I mean, as soon as the longer it's there, the better. I have my pre-launch now for January 6th, which is my Western, and February 17th, which is issue 13 of Redemption. But I already have the next 5 after that approved. So I do it as soon as it's ready, man. I just send it out there. So this was a lot. I had 3 in pre-launch this time. I don't want to ever do that again. I had the hardcover and the other. So I guess now that I have 2 series, there's always going to be 2. And
for me, Anthony, I generally want to give, it depends on the book. If it's Immortal Era, it kind of has its built-in audience and they come along because the next one will be launching is issue 10. Carissa's probably doubled me up by now, but that's all right. Took me 5 years to get there, but no, with an issue 10, I like to put it about 2 weeks in advance. And when it's going to be something like I'll have 2 issue 1s launching next year. And for those, I'll want to give them at least a month, because you have your audience from one of your series, but they don't necessarily want to move over. Maybe the new book's not their thing. When I did book dealing with demons and all that kind of stuff, I lost some of my readers from Immortal Era because it's, that wasn't their thing, and that's fine. But that one you want to give longer so you can promote it out in different places. But when it's an established book that you're working on, multiple issues of, and your audience knows, and they're just ready, like, hey, I just want that new issue. I want to see what happens. I give it about 2 weeks. All right. So we're going to talk about our horror movie Mount Rushmore. So Greg, would you like to go first?
Yeah. So you want me to list like all of mine?
Just 4? You can give us your 4, and then Carissa will go, and I always go last, and I always have to pick 3 things because I don't like doubling up. So I have my plan A, plan B, and plan C. So go ahead and tell us, what is your horror movie Mount Rushmore?
Friday the 13th. Like,
okay, you have to pick one specific one because that just limits all of our stuff. Like, like one specific, you
the
have
whole
to pick
series.
No,
yeah, I mean, it can, and then you could be like that Friday the 13th,
probably the first one, I guess. Even though second one, Jason's actually.
I love the first two of the Friday the 13th.
Well, I like all
the first,
of them because it's my favorite. But
Okay, well, your mountain can't have all of these titles. You gotta pick.
You got 4, but you got so part 1 or part 2? Which one's going up on part 1? Okay, perfect. So part 1, there's your part 1 is your George Washington.
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one.
Yes.
That's better.
So there's your Jefferson.
I don't even know what's on Mount
Rushmore.
I got you. See, I can give you the presidents that you're representing. And then you'll see when I go, I way overthink everything. So that's all right. Many. That's how I roll.
I watch so many. Psycho, like the original Psycho.
Got to go with that one.
Yeah. And Rear Window. I like that too.
Nice.
And
is there 4 or 5?
So many.
Okay. There's 4. So there's your 4. You've run out of presidents. So that's all right. So you've got so for those that want to know the presidents, we got Washington, we have Jefferson, we have Lincoln, and we have Roosevelt. So there's our 4. And like I said, I entirely overthought the whole process, but I love yours. So we're going with Friday the 13th 1, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Psycho, and Rear Window.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff. You took one of mine, so I have to go with one of my plan Bs, but that's all right. That's why I think all these ways through. So first Friday the 13th. All right. So I don't know. Have you met old ladies? They could be pretty brutal. They're the original Karens. Don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
As the kids at that camp learned.
Yeah.
She might throw out her hip, but she's gonna take your head with it.
Okay.
All right. So Carissa, let's hear your 4 horror movie Mount Rushmore.
Okay. I'm gonna do Shaun of the Dead.
Nice.
Wrong Turn, the first one, because there is no other one. I don't care what anyone says.
No, reboots don't count.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Nice.
And what would be my 4th one? I just had it and I lost it. I think I'd go with Hellraiser. I really like the first one. I like Hellraiser.
Yeah.
But I was always on the those guys, Pinheads, which wasn't his real name, but I was always on his side, so I liked it.
Yeah, I love that one. And you've both taken one of my picks, so I have to go to 2 of my plan Bs. But now you can know.
The Crow is not considered a horror movie, right?
I was going to say The Crow.
I mean, The Crow.
Is it?
It's a horror.
It's horror adjacent, kind of like Silence of the Lambs being called a horror movie.
Yeah.
If they'll say Silence of the Lambs is horror, then we can say The Crow is horror.
Then I would take The Crow over Hellraiser. So
all right, that's fine because I got my plan Bs. I'm not even worried.
So the way you should have had a plan C because there's 2 of us, but it's
no, I do have a plan C.
Oh, okay.
I got A, B, and C. For each pick, I have 3 alternatives. So the way I set it up, because as I said, I overthink everything in my life. I looked at it as there's 2 older presidents, so I want to pick 2 older movies. So like we need to pick 2 black and whites, and that's your Washington and your Jefferson. Huh. And then you have your Lincoln, who could be color, could be black and white, because he, we actually have real photographs of him. So he's one of your kind of old but middle presidents. And then Roosevelt represents a newer movie. So my first one I went with Creature from the Black Lagoon. So he represents my Washington. Even though if you watch it, it's a horribly flawed movie, I still love it. It's kind of like they had the creature shots and they just kind of used them over and over again. And it was, these underwater shots. And at the time, that was high-end technology. So when it came down to it, it got, it looks dated now, but at the time it was amazing. So I love it. And I just love the creature design of all the Universal horrors. I mean, I could have picked any. I had Dracula. I put that in there. And then I also looked at Freaks from Todd Browning, the same guy who did Dracula, and just a weird, twisted old horror movie that kind of gets in your head more than any of the other ones. Because I always hear like, oh, audiences were terrified of Frankenstein. And I look at it thinking, were they that naive? Had they never seen anything scary in their lives that Frankenstein scared them and had them screaming and running out of the theater? So I don't get it. All right. So what horror monster do we sympathize with the most? All right. If we're going, taking his question, if we're going with Eric Draven, you got to sympathize with him.
Yeah.
Kind of horror monster. You can say, the mother from the first Friday the 13th, her son died. So you have that grief that drove her to insanity. So I would throw her in there too. Mm-hmm. And I'm hogging the spotlight, so I'll shut up and let you guys answer that one.
Well, you haven't even finished your
Okay, so we'll go through my Mount Rushmore. So thank you. Duh. My number 2, so going to my Jefferson pick, would be Night of the Living Dead. So Night of the Living Dead was one that I love zombies, and that kind of created the zombie genre as we know it. The slow moving monster zombies that are out there. That's kind of what brought that in. Psycho was my first pick. So Night of the Living Dead goes for my number 2. For number 3, for the Roosevelt, that would be for the Lincoln, I go with Halloween. So that was actually my first pick. Halloween kind of brought in the slasher genre. You could say Black Christmas did it first, but Black Christmas isn't as iconic. And when I do this same thing again in December for Christmas movies, Black Christmas is going to be on my Mount Rushmore, even though it's, weird and not quite a Christmas movie. But that's definitely making my Mount Rushmore. And it's also one of the ones that brought in that whole, the slasher genre and vibes that we have that came to Halloween and Friday the 13th after, and then infinite terrible bad 80s slasher movies that I still love when I watch them, because nostalgia glasses can show something like that being pretty good. And then my last one, I had Hellraiser, but I'm going to go in with Evil Dead. And I think I would actually pick Evil Dead 2, because even though I love Evil Dead 1, the kind of mashup comedy horror that Evil Dead 2 brought in a kind of remake that he did of his own movie is just amazing. And I could turn that movie on anytime, any day, and I'll still watch it through. It's one of those ones that I can watch through over and over again. And then one of my friends commented, I have to give a shout out to Dead Alive or Brain Dead, depending on what country you watch it in, from Peter Jackson, his first horror movie, or second actually, his horror movie that is just buckets of gore and zombie movie like you've never seen before. And yeah, if you haven't watched that movie, you have to see it. It's complete insanity, and I think I've watched it at least 100 times. So yeah, those would be kind of my tied for the Roosevelt slot on my Mount Rushmore. All right, so now, what is a horror movie? We'll go back to Anthony's question. What's a horror monster or killer you sympathize with the most?
You kind of picked mine.
Yeah, like I said, I kind of stole all the thunder on that one and picked 2 right away. But I just kind of, with your picks, those 2 come to mind, because most of them are pretty much bastards, and you don't really have much sympathy for the horror monsters. I mean,
you don't have sympathy for Art the Clown from Terrifier?
I was just gonna say that.
I still have not seen those movies, so
they have no plot.
I met them all. I pretty much met them all.
Gore.
Yeah, and that's what I've heard. I mean, I've met Art the Clown when I was doing a horror con. I kind of said hi to the guy. I didn't go over to try to get an autograph or anything, but it was like a hey, good morning, how's it going kind of thing, because we were all just setting up. So I've met him, like greeted him, but yeah, I haven't seen him. People say, it's like some of the craziest kills and best gore, but I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I know they're streaming on Amazon, so maybe I can make that, watch it on Halloween or something.
Yeah,
I will tell you that in person, he's like the nicest guy.
Yeah, like he was.
Yeah, he won't rip your intestines out in real life.
No, I told him, I
good.
said, you're either the best actor or a serial killer. And he didn't answer, so I still don't know the
Oh,
answer.
yeah. Well, that's good. Keep it vague because he doesn't want to ruin his reputation.
Yeah.
All right. So our next category is, what is the most disturbing horror movie that you've watched? One that just gets under your skin and stays there after you watch it. So Greg went first last time. So Carissa, what's your most disturbing horror movie that you've watched?
I've never been disturbed by a horror movie, which is to say something. But as a kid, actually, I guess I was a teenager, there was one movie that had somewhat of an effect on me. I didn't know it at the time, but in school, I was in Critical Eye or something, and they had us watch it, the Stephen King movie. And it wasn't until I went to go take a shower that my parents' drain make the same sound as the drain in the movie. So I had to wash my hair with my eyes open on the drain. So that would probably be the only one that I can think of flat out that bothered. I mean, I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street, 3 when I was 6. So Cujo I watched, so I didn't really. The only time Cujo affected me was when I went to the park like the next month, and there was a really muddy, disgusting looking Saint Bernard running around like a cut. So that might have had a tiny bit effect on me, but I still became a dog groomer. So obviously I wasn't scarred for life.
Yeah, it didn't destroy your whole dog love.
No, so I think I'd go with the It shower.
The shower drain. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so Greg, what's yours?
I don't get scared at horror movies. I actually laugh at them most of the time.
Yeah.
Like maybe Human Centipede, just because of how weird it is.
Yeah,
that's like.
I didn't watch it, but I just watched the CinemaSin for it, and that was enough.
That's all you need. You don't need the whole 90 minutes of it.
You could watch a South Park episode of it.
I did watch that, and now I read things more carefully. I still don't read them as much as I should. But yeah, if that show does not get you to read your fine print, nothing will.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I guess it goes back to how I experienced it. And it was, I would stay up late at night. We had HBO in my house, and I'd wait for my parents to fall asleep to watch all the movies they wouldn't let me watch normally. So I think I was like 9 or 10, and I snuck up and I watched The Exorcist. And it completely fucked with my head. And I knew I couldn't go into my parents' room because it's like normally I'd be like, let me crawl into mom and dad's bed and, I'll be safe in there. No, it was, if I go in mom and dad's bed, they're going to know I snuck up and stayed up late at night and watched something I shouldn't have watched. And they're not going to care. They're going to be like, go to your room. And then they'll start making scary noises to mess with my head even more, as they did when they found out I watched it. So that movie, because of the way I watched it, completely wrecked my head. It was several nights of nightmares. And like I said, my parents, when they finally discovered, when I finally admitted it, they started to kind of antagonize me with scary noises and banging on the door and stuff like that. So that movie, that left some scars. It was probably, I couldn't rewatch it again till I was about like 16 because it really completely messed with my head. Then I rewatched it at 16. I'm like, really? That's the movie that kept you up at night? But like I said, it's just the context of it. Now I can watch it in more like Greg. I can kind of laugh at it. Like, all right, it becomes amusing. But at the time, it was the most terrifying thing that I'd ever had to deal with. So yeah, that wins because of when I watched it, and not, if I had seen it for the first time now, or if I showed my 18-year-old child that movie, she'd just laugh at it. Like, all right, Dad, that's the movie that gave you nightmares, really? But as a little kid, and then as with parents who were like, all right, you messed up, we're gonna really screw with your head for a little while. So yeah, that one would go into my most disturbing. And the only other runner-up I would say would be this weird French movie called Martyrs. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but it takes such a weird turn, and then you end up seeing this woman get skinned alive and beaten for like a 5-minute straight sequence. That one, I was like, damn, I need to watch like the whole season of The Office or something right now to wash that shit out of my head. So that would be the other one. And I watched that one as an adult. My friend gave me a stack of Blu-rays, like, all right, all of these are gonna mess your mind. And he wasn't wrong. That one was pretty twisted and wrong. So that one, I would say, kind of as an adult, that was the one that messed with my head the most. And then they did an American remake, but I think of that one like the end of Rudolph when they pull all the teeth out of the abominable snowman. It's toothless and weak. So don't watch the American one.
Wow.
So,
I mean, I watched Watership Down when I was 6. If that probably should have scarred me, but
yeah, I don't know. I guess that was more impressionable as a kid. Then I started watching them all, but yeah, it was like stay up late.
I should have been watching. I mean, it didn't affect me, but I don't think I should have been watching that movie as a 6-year-old.
No.
I mean, the last unicorn was a little off, but it wasn't like ripping rabbits apart. But
yeah, true. I mean that one. I mean, you're 6 years old. You just love little bunnies, and you have your stuffed animal, and you watch it get ripped apart. Yeah, that's a lot.
I just remember it looking so nice. The artwork was so nice.
It's like look at the pretty bunnies.
Actually, it's funny because last night I was working with one of my artists I'm doing all the cryptids, and they're doing a jackalope for me. And I wanted to look like Bigwig, but stretch like a jackrabbit Bigwig thing. Cool. So that's like my Easter egg too.
Nice.
And I also have, because the last unicorn, I have the fire bull.
Yeah.
Later. So those are my 2 favorite series. So
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So best horror movie soundtrack. Greg, you get this one first again.
I don't really listen to the soundtracks.
Yeah, I don't. This is a tough question because I don't really care about music. That came out wrong, but I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when I have my music episodes, like, all right, Carissa will not be taking part in this one. Or we'll bring on just to torture you. Like, all right, I don't know songs. Shut up, people.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Well, no,
See, I have 3 picks. I could just take all your slots.
Yeah, just go ahead. I can't.
All right, so Greg's favorite horror movie soundtrack is the Psycho soundtrack.
Oh, that's kind of funny because I was thinking of Psycho. So.
Yeah, you get.
Let's see if you can do what I was thinking of. Because let's see if. Go ahead. What was I thinking of?
All right. Let's see. So my wife is chiming in. Great topics. Thank you. She was here when I was kind of coming up with them. So yeah, the Psycho soundtrack. It's one of those, you hear it and you know it. It's iconic. It's just, you can't help but know exactly what it's going to be. So when I think of the horror movie soundtracks, I think of those, like the kinds that you hear on
then I have one.
All the playlists of all the Halloween, if you're at a Halloween party, you're going to hear this song in the background. So Psycho would be one. So Greg, if you want to steal your pick back, I can make my pick Psycho if you thought of one that popped in your head.
No,
mine would be Friday the 13th.
Yeah, see, that's another one.
Yeah,
you hear that? You get those mixed CDs of the horror songs. It always has that
Actually, wait a minute. I'll take it all back. Since we decided that The Crow is a horror movie, I'm going to choose The Crow because I listened to that soundtrack over and over and over again.
That is the greatest soundtrack of all time.
Yeah,
of all soundtracks, there's no better.
Yeah, I am going to go.
Yeah, I would go with that one. When we were doing, when you were on the first time, Carissa, we did the best. Actually, I don't know if you were on the episode where we did best comic movie soundtracks, and I had to pick The Crow. But yeah, that just goes in like that, or Singles would be the best 2 soundtracks that exist, in my opinion. There's like, all right, your Gen X tainted opinion, but it's true. I say it because there's no other answers. But for me, I would have done Psycho. That was my pick A. My pick B would have been Halloween, because just that opening theme to Halloween, you hear it at every Halloween party as whoever's throwing the party's blowing smoke out. And I just, I can smell the Halloween fog listening to that song. It's, it's just kind of ingrained in your head. And then my last one would have been the Candyman soundtrack. So those were kind of my one. A, B, and C. And that one's by Philip Glass. And I don't know if it's really horrifying, but it's just kind of weird and cool. So yeah, I love that. The Candyman soundtrack.
I know the original song, The Candyman. I'm pretty sure that's
not that one, but
that was a little scary too, though, but in a different way.
You know, it is. It's still creepy because I don't trust that fucker. But you know, yeah.
All right,
then. 5 times.
All right. So our last thing we're gonna do is talk about some campaigns and things that are coming up. So one of us has a live campaign. One of us always has a live campaign. So there is not a time where you look for, if you type in her name on Kickstarter, there will be a live campaign. I guarantee you.
Yep.
And it will be live. And if it's not, it will be in pre-launch and launching in like 1 to 2 days. So Carissa does not sleep. We've established this.
Yeah. I was up last night till like after midnight talking to both my artists, one doing the cryptids and one doing the pages. So my husband's snoring away next to me. And like, I got things to do.
All of us comic creators know that sleep is overrated. So it's fine. Like, who the hell will function or will die?
That's well said. Yes, right. I have my hardcover is live now.
All right, so Josh, you missed the music chat. We're gonna do a music themed episode for Christmas. So Josh, if you want to join it, we're gonna be doing. We did a whole episode about songs we want to have removed forever from your from being played. So we're going to do the same thing, but for Christmas songs. And it's sad to not just say all of them because
Mariah Carey.
I don't know if I want to hear, Mariah Carey has to make the list, but I have to come up with plan A, B, and C. And I think Mariah Carey's going to get picked first or second. So I have to come up with yours. So
I don't drink caffeine, so I don't have that benefit, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Caffeine, it is 5-hour energies to get me through the morning, a rock star to get me through the night. So yeah, if I didn't drink caffeine, damn, I'd be one of those zombies that we saw Night of the Living Dead. I don't know how I'd teach my class or how I'd function when I got home. I would just kind of walk home, fall on the couch, and create nothing but good dreams.
Yeah, I don't drink caffeine. No tea, coffee, soda, nothing.
One other good trick is going on a run. Wakes up the endorphin.
That's
so
never
a good run
happen.
Also works. You're like, fuck it, I'll drink a rock star. I'm not going on a run.
Yeah, that's less likely than the caffeine.
Monster.
Yeah.
It does work though. I promise you. Although the first few runs you do, you're gonna be like, fuck that guy. All I feel is pain. There's no endorphins. I can't breathe. My knees hurt. He's a bastard. He doesn't know. But it really does work. You get endorphins, and
believe it or not,
I'm better than caffeine.
I'm blessed with the fact that I'm not tired on 4 hours of sleep. I've done 3 hours. I think I only done 2 once. And that was bad. But generally my average night is 3 to 4 hours. So I don't really, and maybe it's because I don't drink caffeine. I don't know. But my husband gets like 12 hours and he's still, and like 5 cups of coffee and he still can't wake up. So I guess I'm on the good side.
Because I'm good. If I get 6 hours a night, I'm perfect. I'm functioning like I had 12 hours. Because when I do sleep longer, the rare occasions that it actually happens, I feel groggy all day on 10 hours of sleep. Like, I feel like I wasted opportunities in the morning. So the OCD switch is just a bad thing to have, but it's good for creators because it's like, all right, I'll stay up. So, and he can do 6. Yeah, 6 is kind of the magic number for me for sleep. I get 6, I am rolling. I'm doing great. 5, you get that kind of drag down feeling, and that's like a quadruple 5-hour energy day. I'm like, I need 20 hours of energy to get through these next 12 hours.
To be clear, I don't do it on purpose. It's not like I go to bed at 12. I'm like, all right, I'm going to wake up at 4. I go to bed at 11, and then my brain's like, hey, it's 4.
The brains never shut up. That's the problem with everything here.
So I think even last night, I went to bed later than usual. I remember the last contact I had was 12:16, and I still woke up at I think it was 4:20. So I just had the 4 hours.
4 is rough.
I did. Well, that's my normal, but I did in the last 10 years. twice I got 6 hours, and I remember them well. I went to bed at, actually one was 7. I went to bed at 11 and I woke up at 6. I was like, holy crap. So now because of that one time, I have to make sure my phone's on for the alarm. Every other time, I'm like, oh, I'm up at 4. So
yeah, I put, he's asking, do we sleep near your cell phone? My cell phone is near me because it is my alarm, but I turn it upside down. So if an alert goes on and I mute it. So that way nothing that happens with the cell phone is actually going to affect me in the middle of the night. It might buzz. There might be notifications because everyone's on different time zones. So usually some of the chats that I'm in start going off around 4 in the morning are in my time. But it's usually Carissa. So yeah, it's like I'll see, oh, Carissa posted like 5 things.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's usually what's
all this? Oh, it's
Tom. How is Tom not on here? I'm not used to doing a show without him. I don't know.
So Tom, this is my live stream, Saturday Morning Comic Talk. Join us one week. Every week, weirder and different topics. Some weeks comic related. Some weeks we don't talk about comics at all. But since comic creators are on here, Saturday Morning Comic Talk. So Tom, join us to quote the Evil Dead.
Bruno just popped in my head when you're like, we don't talk about.
All right. And yes, please do join us, Josh. That would be.
No, he was only talking to Tom. Sorry, Joshua.
So Tom, Joshua, please. I would love to have either one of you on here in the morning. It's every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. my time. So most of you, that equals noon. So yes.
I was just kidding. He got all saddy face.
Oh. So no.
See? Tom agrees with me.
Joshua, I'm the host of this shit, so don't worry about what she says.
Whatever. He doesn't even own the live buttons pressed. You listen to me.
No, I'm a fucking inept moron, but I'm still the host. I don't claim to be running this shit well, but I do run.
I don't even run mine. I let Tom run mine.
See?
Yeah. Tom's on my show, and if he's not there, I don't know what we're going to talk about.
So Tom, please come on. I'll give you topics. You don't.
I don't know though. If you let Tom on, he'll never leave. I let him on once, and that was like 10 months ago. It's still going on.
Yeah. So Tom, you're in. Joshua, I will make up for all of this madness. You know, I promise I won't hurt your feelings when you join the show, and Carissa's comments will be blocked.
That. Yeah, you'll have to block me. He has the show.
All right.
The show.
All right. So it's turned into a fight here. Things just got real in this room. We were just going to talk about campaigns and shit just got real.
Ratings are going to go through the roof now.
Yay, I'll get like 100 views. Let's do this. All right. Carissa gets all the views, so maybe I should keep her on. So
I only got 700 this last week. I don't know why.
He cries easily.
Usually it's 1.4. It's been 1.4. So
well, I'm hoping to crack that 1,000 at one point, but it's still a new show. We're doing it every week. I'm gonna be doing a live stream starting Wednesday nights, but it will be all music themed. So Carissa, I know you're aching to get on my music themed show. You're like, let's talk albums. That's what I love.
Yeah. So, I was on Josh's show. I was on Josh's show before.
Yeah, I've been on Josh's show a few times. He always has me on when there's a campaign. I met him at San Diego Comic-Con, so I've actually got to meet him in person. I think I've met Carissa in person. Greg, hopefully we encounter each other at a con. Hopefully you can do Nashville this year.
Yeah, that would be nice.
As soon as it goes out, because it fills up fast, which is crazy.
Oh my God. I was on his show. I was on issue 2.
Okay.
And now I'm on issue 12 and 17 is made. So time flies.
Yeah, we're getting issue 12 of mine made. We're almost there to issue 12, but that means next year, hopefully, like you having the hardcovers, because you found a much better place to print than I printed mine at. So having hardcovers and all that stuff for next year. So.
Oh, don't congrat me. If you saw my credit card bill, you'd be like, what the hell? I can just make these for me and it would be the same. It would be cheaper. If I made this for me.
You're still doing it.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, that would be great. So yeah, if you hit California on your wild travels, just let me know in advance and we'll make something happen.
Tom's correct.
And then yes. All right, so The Crow
has to give me homework.
All right, so we can do an album talk about The Crow soundtrack because I know you listened to that one.
That I know, yes.
All right, so he's going to be in California in March, so we will make it happen. Live interview, and you can come over. I know you want to find a good ice cream place. I already have one picked, and we will. Josh wants ice cream in the places he goes. We have a good ice cream place that makes all ice cream fresh. So when he comes out here, we will hit the ice cream place. Live interview. It's going to be amazing. Stay tuned in March.
I do love ice cream.
All right, so The Crow is a good one. Yeah, I got to watch The Crow. That's always the watch it on Halloween because I love the Halloween movies that are actually set on Halloween. And that was going to be one of my questions, but I realized there's just not that many of them. And, it's like it's a short list of great Halloween movies actually set on Halloween. So I thought of Trick or Treat. I thought of Halloween, The Crow, and then Night of the Demons and Terrifier from what I've heard. And I couldn't think of any other ones that were actually set on Halloween. So I'm like, it can't be a question when there's only like 5 to pick from.
Was it actually on Halloween for The Crow, or was it the day before? Because he died the day before. To come back on Halloween?
Yeah. I think he comes back on Halloween, yeah. All Hallows Eve, and then he comes back the next day. And
okay, because he died the day before Halloween.
It might be. We might be
because
wrong.
It was the wedding. The wedding was the next day, which was on Halloween.
Yeah. Close enough. Halloween adjacent.
But that's all been a lie because it said 1 year later. 1 year later, it would have been October 30th. So
you're right. But he dies the morning of Halloween. So
no, he dies the day before because
no, I'm saying when he dies again, it's getting light. So we can call that a new day has dawned. And that's Halloween. So we're just arguing semantics here, but that's all right. All right. Everyone likes ice cream. You are correct. That place has the lactose free because my stomach does not like ice cream. My wife does not like my stomach when I eat regular lactose ice cream.
Have you tried on the couch those days? Because I'm lactose.
I have. It's good stuff.
I can tolerate it more.
All right. So it's on Halloween. We'll call it that. Yes. All right.
Lies.
Last Night with the Devil.
My life is a lie.
Yes, you're right. I just watched that one. And that's another one we could put on the list because the list is short. And I think my favorite one set on Halloween, besides The Crow, this is still debatable. I love Night of the Demons. That one was another one I snuck up late at night to watch. And it scarred me a little bit. It made me afraid of Bauhaus because they have this Bauhaus song in it. And I thought goth music was going to send a demon into my screen. But otherwise, I learned to love goth music and not be afraid of a demon coming through the television set.
Should never not be afraid of that, though.
All right. So today is your birthday. Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday.
Oh, wow. So 1:21 p.m. and it's 1:21 p.m. somewhere in the world. Out here, it's still the morning.
Here.
Yes. Happy birthday, John. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate having you here. And now maybe we'll talk about campaigns or campaign. And then we'll talk about what Greg has coming up because he has some good stuff coming up.
Yeah.
I have stuff coming up as well. We always do. That's what creators do. Sleep, no. Create, yes. All right. So
every time I get a backer, one backs out. So
for
the last week, it's been that I'd get one and then one backs out. So that's what my whole Kickstarter has been. I have not gotten past 44 backers on this one. So
okay. Oh, that's funny. Halloween's the best Halloween movie. You're probably right. And that one did make my Mount Rushmore of movies. But I don't know. I just have a soft spot in my heart for the horrible movie Night of the Demons. And that's when I have to watch alone. I'm like, honey, let's put on Night of the Demons. She's like, you're good. You can watch that one when you stay up later than me. But yeah, Halloween. Yeah, I mean, well, who am I fooling? Halloween's, of course, the best Halloween movie set on Halloween. One of the best horror movies ever. It was let me see, that would have been my Lincoln spot of Mount Rushmore. So yeah, Tom is right. He made me backtrack on my own thought. All right, so Carissa, with no further delay, let's take a look at your campaign.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you'll see someone back out live on camera.
That's all right. I will back it. You know, I always back, but I always wait. But that's all right. I back on one of those days when it's been a slog and there's been no backers, and all of a sudden you see my name pop up, because
I have a lot of people.
I'm a sucker and I back every campaign, and I can't just get digital copies unless it's international. Then I just can't afford the shipping. But yeah, you know, I will be in on this campaign, and here we go. Tell us about this campaign.
This is the hardcover, well, book 1 and 2, but technically the new is hardcover 2, which is this one. It is 200 pages and it's issue 8 through 12. And it's only $29. And you can actually get both for $59 for a special on this Kickstarter. We might not get that again. And it pretty much has, you can get the 2 hardcovers $59 and you're all caught up 1 through 12, because 13 is going to come out February 17th. The cover is by Jeremy Rampak, who is the interior artist for Injustice, which I don't care anything about, but he's the interior artist of Resident Evil, which is why I chose him.
Nice.
Fortunately, he's also really good, because otherwise, you know, but it's colored, and that he did both covers. And
you have the front and back. That is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. It kind of looks like it's not, but everyone keeps telling me, "Oh, you did a wraparound." I did not, but it does look like it's kind of.
It does. It looks like you could fold it out and it'd be one image.
Yeah.
But don't break your hardcovers folding them out, people. That's
no. Yeah, right.
She will not refund you if you try to fold them out for.
I don't recommend
You've been told it is not a wraparound.
Yeah.
If you decide
to
test her theory, that's on you. No refunds.
But you said it was
I'm making a choice for her.
Yeah.
We did not lie to you.
Yeah.
or she is lying, and you're like, oh, dude, it's lying, and it's beautiful. No.
You'll never know.
Don't ruin your hardcovers.
There's the interior pages. Are probably added too many, but it is, in my defense, 5 issues. So I think I did like 2 pages per issue or something.
That's great. People like to see the interior pages so they know that it's not a bait and switch deal going on with a beautiful cover and some garbage artwork inside. I can tell you it's not garbage artwork inside, and it's not a garbage story. Both are amazing. Buy this shit right now.
That was a great endorsement. I always put lettered pages because our lettering, being dyslexic, the font I use, the way I use it, I make sure everyone sees what they're getting. So again, there's no bait and switch. And you can see if you like the writing or not. That's one of my favorite pages where Draven is possessed by a demon. Very hard to show a possession. Usually it's like black eyes, but I wanted something a little different. So we did the shadow. Of course, we have Anubis and the Hellhound there fighting the explosion that came. And and then these are there is a plushie for this one. It has not been on sale yet. I haven't decided. I
the alligator dude?
I have the alligator dude. I only have one.
I need that one.
Do you?
That's the plushie I need.
Okay.
Yeah,
you'll have
my
to get
Halloween costume this year is alligator Loki. So I'm like, I love alligators. So
let's see how close he is. I'll have to find him. I only have one made, so you'll be buying the only one made.
One of one.
One of
feel
one.
Very special at that.
Yeah. But yeah, this is so I went in order. So this is issue 12. The ending is extremely intense, if I do say so myself. So we have individual stretch goals. Because I always thought it wasn't fair that somebody backs for $5 gets the same thing as somebody that backs for $200. So we have $50. And I think I only did 50 and 75 this time because I got lazy to figure out what my third vote's going to be. But there we get a keychain with Anubis on it and one of our stickers.
I love that idea that you do. I should start bringing that in because, like you said, the person who buys a single issue, although, you know what? I buy so many stickers and I hand them out at cons. So you know what? Buy a $10 issue, you'll get your sticker. But I do love the idea. But hey, you know what? At this point, backers are gold. I'm going to encourage all of you just back, and it's good. And you know what? If you don't have it, you need to back for the 50 plus because you need both volumes. Now I have volume 1, so I don't need that. I just need to get my volume 2, even though I have the floppies. You can read it. I'm gonna keep the floppies mint, so when this show gets made on Netflix, I could cash in on eBay.
Yes, that's do what Ed says. I did have that's my spotlight. There's only 3 copies left from that's issue 11 variant. I do have all the variants in the add-ons. I don't reprint them anymore, So I think there's 20 or less of each one, but that one only has 3. It almost sold out. That sold the best, I think, actually. And it probably would have sold more, but I didn't put the number high enough. And so unfortunately.
So get it while you can, because that one will be worth a lot on eBay when it's on Netflix.
Almost 25 printed. So there was
that's rare. That's what I do for all my variants. I only make 25. And I tell people, like, one day, do you want to be watching my show on Netflix and think, damn, I remember I could have bought that 1 of 25 book and I passed on it. I'm like, do you want to live your life in regret? I act like that. I tell them that at my table and make more sales like that. I get a laugh and then like, here, I'll buy your damn book. So, but Carissa seems very, I'm constantly on at a con. I'm like, all right, I will pester anyone who gets near my table. And like, if you make eye contact with me, you will hear my 30-second pitch. You will not get away with it.
You're way better at it than me. I am awful, which is so weird because I'm so talkative. You would think that, and I'm loud. I'm an Italian New Yorker. This should be gold at cons.
You should be out outselling me with
I really
people.
should.
If we were next door to each other, we should make people avoid our row. You should be so loud.
I just don't like pestering people, which is funny because I do it daily, so I don't really know why.
I'm full on used car salesman mode when I'm at a con. I will not let the person next to me outsell me. I get very competitive. Now, if they're just selling stickers, they're going to outsell me and they're going to make triple the money I made because they made some cool stickers or posters or 3D printed things. And I watch those guys like cashing in.
I'm going to have stickers, so I'm going to see how well they work because I've heard the person next to me did stickers and prints that she did, and it was only she made $2,600, on average, or that was the most.
Yeah, I watched the sticker people just crushing me left and right, and it's art sells itself. That's the beauty of it. If you're a good artist, the people can see it. They know they like the style. They don't need to say, "Hey, what's this sticker all about?" No, I mean, for me, I have to sell them on a story. They may think the art's nice, but they're like, that's art of someone I don't know, so I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous of the artist.
It's harder. Yeah, the artists, I'm like, I watch them just cashing and like, I mean, they have a skill and it's great that they can monetize it.
I don't have that.
My skill is trying to tell you a story and it's only going to appeal to some people.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the end, it's still fulfilling, and I've never gone to a con and lost money. So I mean, fingers crossed that doesn't happen. So at least I can say that is I'm able to make it back. And in the end, we're doing it because we want to tell our story. We're passionate for it. We're not doing it for the pile of money that we get to count. We don't get to Scrooge McDuck into a giant vat of coins. We're not that lucky.
Mine's the pile of bills I do it for.
The pile of credit card debt. Yeah, that's why we really do it.
That's why I do it. The credit card companies need me. They live off of my interest.
Yeah, and you care about them, and that's great.
I do.
I'm sure the big banks love you the most, and they'll always offer you credit line increases.
That's right. I'm all about the other person. I'm hoping that having the stickers at my table and the nice little funky display, I can attack them while they look at it. So,
oh no, Carissa's gonna come around and wave $100 bills at me when she does when we do Nashville. Like, you should start stickers.
Yeah.
How those sales going over there? Like,
that's the hope. The stickers.
Yeah, you can wave your pile of money, and I'll still be living in my small meager pile. It's fine.
I can't compete with you though in the pitch department. I have thought about doing Heroes Con, but I keep wussing out, so I don't know. That plushie there, that the chatty one just arrived, so they will be shipping out because they do have that. It'll ship out separately, but he did come in. Nice. I thought the hounds were coming in because they got shipped together, but apparently not. So now I'm waiting for that one. But they should be here soon. They said within 5 days. So hopefully by the time this is over, I can ship them. So
nice.
But yeah, I have coins this time. I have those little embroidered keychains, which I wish he could do the whole body because I think it would look great for like the Wendigo and all the cryptids that I have going on. But
yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. And the little 3D printed guy is adorable. He's jointed too, which is
very cool.
Insane. He's this little cryptid thing. I just love him. I think he's going to sell well at cons too. I don't usually bring a lot of merch, but I think I'm going to just do merch in my hardcovers now.
Yeah.
I will tell you though. So I always brought my singles and I stopped at the last con. And at the last con, 2 people wanted the singles, and I was like, screw you all. I didn't bring them.
For me, I still need to bring the issue 1 single. That's still the best thing I sell on my table. People buy issue 1 more than anything because they don't know. And usually I do bring the singles when it's local because I'm driving there. It doesn't matter. But when I go to Nashville again, I'm definitely just going to bring issue 1, a lot of trades, and maybe the variant book that I have, because that I can just bring 1 of each variant in the variant book. And if it sells, then okay, just tell them it's sold out for the show. Because last time I packed way too much, ended up having to spend like $250 to get all the books on the airplane. And that just meant $250 more I had to make at the con just to break even. Yeah. So this year I'm going to structure it different. Bring 1 suitcase full of issue 1s, 1 suitcase full of trades. And, my carry-on bag can have like the CGCs and stuff like that. So I kind of have to rethink, because the last time I had done a travel con that actually required an airplane, I only had 3 issues out. So it was a lot different. Like, of course, you're just going to bring a bunch of issues 1, 2, and 3 because that's all you have. But now by the time I do Nashville, I'll have 12 issues out, probably 2 trades and 4 series. I just need to bring a bunch of number 1s of all the different series.
See, I sell a lot of number 1s with my hardcover, but mostly people wanted the hardcover. I don't know why that is. I'm going to start just handing out issue 1s if you buy the hardcover. But they love the hardcover. I don't know if they'll buy a hardcover too. I'm going to try to make it, more accessible and cheaper and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see.
My hardcover is expensive, so that's why it doesn't really move. I have to charge $50 for it. So
they're not expensive for me, but they're so effing heavy. They're so heavy.
True. And I think I brought 1 hardcover with me when I went to Nashville because they are bricks. The soft covers weigh enough. They're heavy as it is, but the hardcovers,
Did you sell the 1 hardcover at
Nashville? I did.
I thought
the one I brought was sold, so that's good.
Buy it. I don't want to carry this home.
Yeah. I did not have to leave home without it. It was actually one of the last sales I made of the whole thing, and I sold out. That. I sold out of all the issue 1s I brought as well, which was great. I had someone come up to me at the very end who was another creator, and he wanted to do a trade with me. And normally I will. If there's a creator there, I'll do a trade. Like, give me your number 1, I'll give you mine. But I had just sold out of my last, so I sold out of all my number 1s, which tells me bring more number 1s just in case for next time, and still bring the 1 hardcover, because usually every con I sell about 1. So especially when people know there's only 100 of them, you get that collector switch flick on, and they're like, again, like, I'm gonna get myself rich when this thing goes on Netflix. So yes, buy my hardcover, be rich later.
Yeah, of course.
You got the Lego figure, love it.
Yep, plushies. I have a lot of
add-ons. Gator plushie's out, he will be mine. So you guys better go fast, because I'm getting him. It'll be the first time I pledge on day 1 because I need my alligator.
Yeah. But yeah, that plushies galore. Wait, I mean, man, I've got the cryptids. I already have the plushies being made, and I think there's 10 so far.
Wow.
So each Kickstarter is going to have 2 to 3. Issue 1 is going to have Apollo the Rat, Bigfoot, and the Wendigo.
Nice.
And the second one's going to have Mothman, the Crow Demon, and the Snagglegaster, which only true cryptid lovers know. That thing's crazy.
I'm a poser. I have no idea who you're talking about.
A Snagglegaster is the weirdest thing ever. It looks like a raptor body with feathered wings and the neck and head of a vulture with tentacles coming out of his beak. I did not invent this. So yeah, I'm pretty sure if anything, it was a giant bird that was eating an octopus and someone saw it. But here we are with the Snagglegaster. So
nice.
Yeah. So I don't sell a lot of I sold more this time than last time, but I don't sell a lot of merch on my hardcovers. I guess because they're more people buy, but this time I sold a little bit more than the first time. First time I didn't sell any. I wasn't going to do any merch on this, and then I thought people might think it's a fake account, so I had to make sure I put merch on there. But there's only I think there's only 22 tiers instead of 42. So
yeah, you have the fullest Kickstarter I've ever seen. I'm still scrolling.
Yeah,
I'm like, the bar has a long way to go. So
my one of my friends said, I think it was Brandon. He's like, so do you think that people hate that you have so many tiers? It's like, well, if I thought that, I wouldn't do it. But thanks for the question.
Yeah, hey, you know what? It gives people options and choices, and
they don't have to look through it. You could literally just go to the first tier and buy what you want.
Yeah,
I don't look through most people campaign, which I find funny.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I go in, I know what I'm getting. When Alligator comes up, I know what add-on I'm grabbing, and there we go.
I'm gonna put in the Western just for you if you're going to get the Western. If not, I'll save him for issue 13 because it's only one, so it's gotta be.
You know, I'm there. Whatever. When you put the new one out, I'll be there backing it. Oh my gosh! While I was scrolling through, not looking, we have 10 comments. Let's see what's going on in the comments area.
They're all Josh.
Josh is here. He's engaging. I appreciate it. So Matt, he's asking, "What's up, fellow comic creators?" Good morning, Matt. Matt was on my show earlier. He was on one of the first episodes. I still don't know what I'm doing since then, but hey, at least we're here. All right. So cash that eBay for sure. I tell people, you'll be rich, I'll be rich, win-win. Buy my book.
Here we go. And
all about the oh, there he is. There's my Alligator. People, you do not get it. It is mine. Back the hell off.
This is the prototype. There will never be another one. This is all for him. So
see, I get my one of one. I could put it in a shadow box somewhere. It'll be.
And I never do that. I've only done that once before. I had the zombie mermaid statue made. I only made one. I sold it. So usually I have always 2 made. So, but yeah. I'm trying to get my Wendigo. I have the handmade ones is already in the process of getting done. So they'll definitely be available for issue 1. But I really want to get the commercial released one like this to look like the Wendigo. Because
that'd be cool.
That Wendigo is just, I love him to death. I ordered metal pins for the first time.
You're loaded with the good stuff, but yours has more appeal. Like I have pins of all my characters, but I have stickers of all my books, but it's not something that's great appeal. And thank you, Josh, for tuning in and engaging with us today. Appreciate it. And I will see you in March, of course, in person with getting ice cream, being interviewed. So now, Carissa, you will buy this book. That is what people must do. Carissa's book is good. You will buy it. I will buy it and practice what I preach, because then I would be a gigantic hypocrite if I told you to buy this book and I didn't actually go and back it myself. But Carissa knows I'll back. Yeah. She knows that if I say I will, it just is a matter of time. And when I get off my lazy ass and click that purchase button. So probably after this stream, because there it is right on my wall, ready to be purchased. So I know what to do.
It ends this, what day is it? It ends Friday.
It ends Friday. So don't be too lazy and think I'll get it next week. When I'm watching next week's Saturday morning comic talk, I'll go in and buy it. That would be a bad idea. You would not appreciate that. So you need to buy it, or you would have to wait 1 week for her next campaign to buy it as an add-on.
That's right. And I'm hoping Halloween, this Thursday coming up, is my 2 years in comics. And I'm hoping to announce the issue 1 cover of the Western.
Very cool.
So I'm hoping, he promised, and I've been waiting since January of since January. So he promised that he would have it. And I've been as patient as I could, and then finally I was like, I need this by my 2 years.
If you jump on, if you have it on the 26th and you want to jump on and show it off, let me know. Send me a message and we'll get you in the stream and you can share that cover if it's ready. So, Greg, what do you have that you would like to promote? I know you don't have a campaign like me. So, Greg, what would you like to promote?
Well, in the private chat, I put the pre-launch link.
Come on, Greg. What the hell?
Oh, I never looked at the private chat, but there we go. Let me get on that right now.
Yeah.
So I will share that for you right now. And then I will also put it into our main chat so you can get in there. So let me share this. Greg shared with us his pre-launch. for the Seer Chronicles 1 through 3.
Yeah. This was going to come out this month, and then we don't have a bunch of things done for it. So I was like, I'm not rushing to get that done. So we're just gonna do it in like February next year.
Very cool.
Our friend Hector is the artist for this issue. The series has had a few different artists, but now the inker that's on this one, he's now going to be the artist going forward. So I'm hoping there's literally 2 more issues after this, and then I'm gonna remaster 1 and 2, and then
nice.
Yeah. So.
And I love how you do the little newspapers and things like that. You do so much world building. I mean, you have you go so much more in depth, where I just kind of draw a box like, all right, that box represents the new place they're going to go to. I never name them. I hate names. It takes me forever to name any of my characters. So the city, the main city my story takes place in, still doesn't even have a name. So, and then. Yeah, I mean, you guys put so much thought into everything and all your backstories. So yes, when this one launches, you must also buy this. You know, Carissa, you got to buy right now, or in 2 weeks when the next one, or a month after that when the one after that launches. But you know what? Buy now, because why do you want to wait for your hardcover? You want to read it. It's amazing.
You do want to read it.
Why should you not have this book that ends with a bang? We just know that. She told us.
Yes, I've had 2 people that got to read it ahead of time told me they need therapy. So
therapy for readers is good. That means you did your job.
That's right.
All right, so I'm going to throw the link. You can follow this one. Putting it in the comments right now. So please go follow the new Seer Chronicles. I will practice what I preach and follow it as well, because I never ask anyone out there to do something I'm not willing to do myself. All right,
I didn't want to launch another Kickstarter when we haven't even fulfilled ink yet. So
yeah, and that's
the
big thing with me too. I never want to have one when people are waiting for something.
Smart way. I don't play that game. So
yeah, well, we know. And that's good.
Well, I did mittens because like people wanted mittens, so obviously I still
mittens. They'll attack you if they don't get their mittens. They'll see you on the street and be like, you'll be shaken on the street by random strangers. Like, mittens, where the hell is it? Ink, maybe if 1 or 2 people will attack you,
can all thank you for his plushie for that, because yeah. I have, as Travis says, I have corrupted all of indie comics.
That's all right. I haven't gone the plushie route yet, because I don't think any of my characters would look good as plushies unless I can find the decapitated head on a spike plushie.
What about the corruptor behind you? We could do a cute version of him. Trust me, they'll buy it.
Yeah. I need a Satan plushie.
Why not? I have an Anubis puppy that people loved. So
yeah, you know, I'll have to see if they can make him.
That's why this
cute and cuddly.
Man, I'm telling you, this is I don't know if it was an incredibly smart idea to do or the stupidest thing I've done yet, but it's just there's 20 cryptids in it that you have to follow to get the ingredients for that you can collect with her, and then you have the cryptids that are the other ones that are just in the background. So yeah, there's too many. That's
so crazy. Here, my little thing I can share. Here's the cover, the main cover of what will be issue 10 of Immortalera. So
that's great art.
Yeah, so I love how it came out. I had to work back and forth with the colorist a lot to kind of come up with what worked, because its first color scheme was very plain. So we kind of added the night sky, we added the fog, because in my stories, if there's fog, that's showing us that there's some of the magic's going to be involved. So this story arc, we haven't seen the magic kick in yet, but issues 10 through 12, we get really deep in the magic and the mythology, as our main heroes are out trying to find the second piece of death. And if you've read my story, you know that is literal body parts of death that has been cut up and distributed around this world. And they have to reassemble death to try to bring death back into the world. So they're out hunting their second piece of death, and the witches are not happy about that and are trying to stop them. So when you see this fog, if you're a reader of the story, you know that there's going to be some magic inside of that issue, and we're going to see some stuff go down.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then you wanted to share one other thing you have going on. So tell us, Greg, what else do you have happening?
It's our 5th annual virtual expo. That's crazy. This is the 5th year. We do it on Thanksgiving weekend, so it's from noon on the 29th till December 1st, and that ends at 8 p.m. each day.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I'm hoping that we can take breaks.
Yeah. I had to sign up for that. I need to sign up for one of the panels. I always join you for a few. The only year I didn't was the first year you did it, I think, and that was the year that the San Diego Comic-Con decided to do it on Black Friday weekend. So I was there that whole time. And of course, now we could have said, all right, just stream on your phone from the con. That could have been a cool thing. But at that time, I don't know if the technology would have been there to do it the same way now. Because now I have a tablet and I live streamed from LA Comic-Con a few weeks ago. So yeah, definitely tune in for that. It's a lot of fun. He gets some amazing creators on there and a wide variety of topics. So you want to tune in for Sierra Nova Con Thanksgiving weekend. What are you going to do? You're going to be all fat from turkey. So sit down, your fat ass on the couch, and watch SeerCon.
Yeah, exactly. We might have somebody from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on it, which is cool.
Awesome. You'll have someone from Immortal Era on it, so you know that.
Yeah.
That's that future show that you're going to be regretting you didn't buy issue 1 of. So
that's right.
Ninja Turtles is the first one you regret not buying issue 1 if you actually saw an issue 1 in existence in the real world. Sadly, I was not.
Somebody was on the con and they said they hated zombies, but they bought an issue 1 of something they didn't know what it was, and it wound up being The Walking Dead.
Oh, gotta love that. I bought an issue 1 of Walking Dead because at that time my pull list, I told the comic shop owner, like, any good zombie stuff you get in, make sure you put it on my pull list. So I was a fortunate one who got a Walking Dead 1 on my pull list.
Nice.
So we can wrap things up with our final plugs. Tell us where we can find you in the real world, online, and what you have going on. So Greg, where can we find you online?
Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Pinterest, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. Our website, Sierra Nova Comics. Just type that in Google and you'll definitely find us.
Sounds good. And any shows, any live shows coming up?
We're doing Saratoga Comic-Con in November on the 23rd, I think it's
nice.
The 23rd. Yeah.
So definitely check him out if you're in that area. So Carissa, what do you have? Where do we find you, and what do you have going on besides your Kickstarter that we know everyone must back right now?
I am wherever chaos is. So just search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter, on YouTube, on Google, on Facebook, on X, Twitter, whatever. And the only live shows that I always try, I can't say guaranteed because I say that and they'll probably be like, forget it, you can't come back. But I try to do Nashville every year. If you're local in Knoxville, Tennessee on the 23rd of November, I don't even know what date it is yet. November 23rd. I am doing a one-day con called The Wandering Dragon at the Knoxville Expo. I will have both books there. I will have hopefully some of my Wendigo stuff and definitely stickers. So find me there. You can find Carissa Grant. I am on Facebook. And I do have a website, and Greg reminded me that I should probably tell people that. I have worthychaoscomics.com. It has Anubis and Bastille plushies and book 1 so far on there. And you can even get the PDFs on there to download for $5 or a bundle. You pay and then you download it right away. And other than that, yeah, just like Ed says, I'm always on Kickstarter. So the best way to find me is search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter. You can go, the Facebook link is in there. Everything's in there. So just find me there. And then, yeah. Go through a rabbit hole of 15 Kickstarters that I have on there.
You can see them all and see
Yeah.
all the rewards.
They are all mine, though. I'm the only one that pops up. So
yes. So for me, you can find me on all the socials under Finish Line Comics. Also on YouTube, trying to gather more followers on YouTube. So if you haven't followed Finish Line Comics on YouTube, please follow. We're at 48 followers. First goal is to hit 50. So if you can give it a follow, I would appreciate it. I'm also on TikTok, X. I never post on X, so feel free to follow it if you like nothing. If you don't want content to bother you, that's the place to follow me. Instagram, I like to post a lot on there. So follow that on all the socials. Please follow the YouTube. And I'll be tomorrow, if you're local in Southern California, I'll be at the Redlands Art Walk from 12 to 5. And then my next 2 cons won't be until next year in January. And that'll be the Creepy, in the Inland Empire Creep, i.e. Horror Con. And that one is the last weekend of January. And I think the weekend before that is Pasadena Comic Con. So I'll have more information about those as we get closer. And thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for joining me today, Greg and Carissa. And we'll see you next week with a brand new group of creators and whole new topics.